We live, baby. We live. I'm in a cave right now, trying to get some resources. This is metal, but I'm trying to get it just for stone. Can I pet that dog? I just world hopped yesterday to extinction and I tamed a bunch of gachas. They're like giant sloths. They're resource makers. Definitely considered endgame tames. They eat anything, but you tame them by feeding them stone. And depending on the gotcha's crafting wheel, they can make anything from any raw material. Silk, sulfur, fungal wood. The rarest ones make element dust. That's like the highest rarity in this game, is element. That's how you make your tech stuff. What's cool is this cave is right next to my base. Roll up. Oh, my little Dodicarus. The higher the melee on these guys, the more stone they yield. I can get thousands of stones just off this one guy. Well, this is my cliff base. I used to live over there where it says temple on a smaller cliff, and I made a tribe alliance with a dude. His base is right off this cliff, and he gave me this area. He had it pillared off. If you see random pillars, that usually means like people pillar off their area or a certain area, so no one lives by him or them. But he gave me this cliff, and usually you can do multiple foundations to lay down your base. I ended up doing a cliff base, so I made platforms and just built off of that. This is my breeding area. I got my bisons, usually where I put all my babies up here. Got it closed off. I got cosmetics. These are giant behemoth gates. I put cosmetics and made it all see-through. That water's deep enough to put damn near any size water tame in there. What I was talking about with the element, so the end game is trying to get elements so you can craft tech stuff. So this is actually an emitter. If I didn't have one of these, I'd have to go to either one of the 3 giant obelisks on the map. That's how you're able to. The blue one is on the other side of this cliff. But if I go here, I can transport inventory and transfer to another server. It's like over 2,000 something servers, different worlds. I just pick a server, transfer, and then it uploads my character, and I load into that world. If you don't have a base there, like a bed to spawn into, you have to pick a random region to spawn into. There's my little bunker house I made. This is my tech generator. This can run everything. Like, you can make regular electric generators for certain floors. This has a bigger radius. It powers everything from the first floor all the way to the top floor. But it runs off of element. These are all the artifacts I've gotten from some from this world, some from another world. I brought them back as souvenirs. The bed's actually my spawn in, so wherever you put a bed on top of a foundation, you can spawn there if you die, or if you're in another world, that's where you would spawn in at. This is my first floor. I got my crops, my water reservoir, my grinder, my forger for metal. Got a hidden ceiling right here, and then I got another hidden ceiling that goes into my craft room. These are my plant species X. They actually shoot at any wild tames, birds, or anything that gets close to my house. They shoot red goop that slows them down and eventually kills them. He caked up, Green Ranger. Everybody pointed that out too. I got cosmetics. Cosmetics you can unlock. A lot of them are free. This was the first one, or this is the second one with Tommy and villains, and then the Dragonzord skin, the Titanus, White Tiger, and then the Megazord. The first Power Ranger pack came out last year. Had the original 5, the Mastodon, Triceratops, Sabretooth, T-Rex, and Pterodon. You have to have the corresponding dino to be able to put the cosmetic on. The rest of these are just skins for decor, furniture, and walls. I'm turning this into an extra storage room. Nice, Lord Zed's coming to Fortnite. There's my little kitchen area with an extra bed. And then my hidden wall. This is my crafting room. All my vaults. These are dedicated storages. Because usually a bookshelf or a vault has limited slots that you can put stuff in. Like a bookshelf can only hold 45. The vault can hold up to 350. I got saddles, armor, weapons. The dedicated boxes are used for resources. And it has a really high cap. So I can they're wireless tech dedicated storages. So anything I use for crafting that uses anything from out of there, I can use it wirelessly. Usually you have to like take a stack of something, put it in your crafting station, or you can craft stuff on yourself. This actually reaches up to the 2nd floor. So I go to my crafting. Certain things you can make on your person, certain things you can only craft in a specific structure. So I can make walls, foundation, tools, arrows, certain equipment. The world that I'm in right now is Ragnarok. I found this server randomly, and I'm glad I did. This server is very active. Like, people talk in the chat. It's a whole community. They have their own Discord that I joined. This is my RG. These are what you use for your weight. You got cryopods. You can cryogenically freeze your tame, and it keeps it safe. It won't starve. You put them in a cryo fridge. Kind of broken, but I mean, it's part of the game. You put them in this cryo fridge right here. These are all my tames. I got some of my personal adult tames up here. Empty cryos. this way. I have another cryo fridge dedicated to either male and females because you can breed dinos together. So I usually keep like my couples in this cryo fridge. And then you can stash babies for later if you don't feel like taming them right now. So I got baby wyverns. I keep the bisons out. Bisons, you can obviously milk them. I got all females, females only. There has to be a baby bison present. So like right now if I click on her, there'll be like a milk icon right here. So since there's no baby, it won't have a milk icon. You use milk to tame wyverns. So this is an ice wyvern. Ice wyverns are natural ice boxes. You can put anything in them. It'll last like a refrigerator, depending on what it is, can have a spoil. Everything has a spoil time, damn near. Food, certain materials. You put it in a wyvern, it could last days. Versus a fridge. A fridge might keep this fruit. And it's not per stack, it's per berry. So I got 99 berries here. Spoil time is literally 5 hours, 20 minutes. It probably could double up or go up to a day if I put it on an ice wyvern. This is my Tech Rex. I just raised this. Resources and eggs. Tames are currency. So I literally keep a whole stash of eggs of just extra stuff that I either trade or if I can get a male and a female, I'll start breeding them. I stash them in here. And then somebody in the comments, you know, in the chat for the server, hey, anybody has this tame? I can barter eggs, or certain tames that don't have eggs, you can take the embryo out using a gene scanner. This little gun right here. You stab it and you can pull the embryo out directly instead of waiting for the mom to actually give birth. And then you put it in the embryo incubator. So I already got a couple. I bred a baby mammoth, baby bear, and gotchas. I got 2 female gotchas. These are who I was getting stoned for. I got a male and a female gotcha. These are on extinction. They eat anything, but what you really want is the crystals that they drop off their back. So if I go to the crafting wheel of this gotcha, it'll tell me everything that it makes randomly in its inventory. So it can make flint, thatch, green gems, silica pearls, blue crystallized sap, and element dust. These are really rare. This is actually cloned. These go for very high on Facebook. Because it's like once you get one, you can clone it. You can make a tech cloner, which takes a ridiculous amount of material to make. But a buddy of mine gifted these to me. This is a whole system right here because they essentially eat snow pellets from the snow owl. And this little guy right here, the Pegomax, he'll collect the crystals for me when I'm away. So I put the stone in them. You can preset them. So I have them set to element dust only. And that's all they'll craft. They'll drop these little crystals that I can open. Or you can just put it on any and just have it random. People make mega bases, literally building a farm. I'm raising this. This is a Phasilosuchus. These can burrow underground and move at high speeds. And he wants kibble right now. So I'll put my kibble in my what's called my hot slot, which is always the far right. And then I'll walk up to him and just feed him the kibble. You get your maturation when they grow, and then imprinting. Imprinting, just like a parent, you're imprinting your tame. If you get 100% imprinting, they actually get a buff when you ride them. This is a mantis. I got this as an egg. I raised it up. This color. They're usually not this color. Color patterns can vary. And I got baby maguanas. Oh no, these are adults. I already raised them. These guys right here can feed your babies for you. They eat off their inventory. I actually bred 2 of these. These are not gender specific, so if you put 2 next to each other, you go in this hot bar, so I can turn on enable nursing, baby feeding trough. It'll feed the babies. until they're juvenile. Juveniles can feed themselves technically. So I would use this feeding trough. Juveniles up to adults can eat off of this. I don't have to worry about because your tames can starve and die. Once their food stat goes out, they start to lose health. So you got all your stats. The higher the food and the health, the better. Because once they're adults, they rarely eat. So you're not worried about anything starving on you. Yeah, these guys, they can glide in the air, or they can move at super high speeds in the underwater. They can feed your tames for you. And if you have the saddle, their saddle actually has 4 baskets. You can actually pick up the babies in the saddle. I suppose you got 2 people watching. I don't know who the other person is. Yeah, I got griffins, I got water tames, gigaraptors, tigers, my wolves. Oh, I actually just got this from another world. It's pretty cool. They jump and glide really high, and they're great swimmers. Oh no, this is a Velonosaur. This one, when they're adult, they actually shoot needles out of their head. Will said the bosses. Okay, so I could better show while I'm explaining it. So let's say me and you, let's say you were on, right? Me and you want to do a boss. So I have a transmitter. If not, you go to one of the big obelisks over there, and it actually has like a little terminal thing you go up to. I pooped. So I go to the transmitter. So here, there's only one boss. It's an ice wyvern, right? So you got different levels, like I mentioned: gamma, beta, and alpha. Alpha is the strongest one. The purpose of beating the boss is not only do you get a trophy for beating them, you unlock engrams for crafting. So if I go here to tech engrams right here, these are only unlocked. These ones I have that say 0, go get from beating a boss. The one that are shadowed out, I have to find the boss that corresponds with that engram so I can unlock it and craft it later. With the boss, since I have the transmitter, I could literally, I would throw out all the tames that I'm taking with me to fight it. They have to be out, and we would upload and transfer together. If not, you have to go all the way to an obelisk, throw out all your tames out there, and then transfer. So I will go here for the alpha. It tells you all the artifacts you need. I got a couple artifacts from here, and it'll say like some of the tames. All these tames you can find here. So like Sarco skin, which is the giant alligators, Megalania toxin, Megalodon tooth. You would add all the trophies into these inventory slots along with the artifacts, and then you hit transfer, and then you'll literally be transported to a boss arena, and you'll start the boss fight. In my craft room, I have a bookshelf dedicated to trophies. Like, these are some of the parts you can get when you kill something and your like tame eats it. You get the parts. Like, this is from Basilosaur, giant tentacles, the talons from the dragons, the wyverns. This is a vertebrae from a long neck, Titan boa venom, Sarco skin. I just need a couple more artifacts, and then when we do the boss again, because you can grind the boss over and over just for the material once you beat it, which is cool, because they drop like rare items like element. You get the trophy, you get hella meat from everything you eat in there. You bring it back with you. You got spinal cells. I got I fought an alpha creature, Utyrannus lungs, the venom spines from a Ceratosaurus, a alpha raptor claw. Nope, stuck. My favorite tame in this game has to be the Pyromane, which is what's on my shoulder. Certain pets can be considered a chibi pet, so they're small, so they can fit on your shoulder if they're small enough. Certain ones can either reduce your max weight. So like on the right side of the screen, I have my weight. I can get my thirst, my hunger, my stamina, and my health. So my Pyromane, he gives me this little shield on the right. I can't get cold, and I have a heat reduction. So if I go anywhere that's super hot, I can actually walk in lava with him and put him on my shoulder. And he has his own inventory that I can access from the Hot Wheel. Any meat that he has on him, it cooks it into cooked food. So if I put like raw meat, raw prime meat, if it stays in his inventory long enough, he actually makes jerky, prime meat jerky or regular cooked meat jerky, and that never spoils or expires. So I always got a food source on me. And then when I want to ride him, go to the hotbar, click on the saddle. So I can either throw him on the ground or I can transform him. Full size Pyromane. This is my female. I have what's considered a stud male that I can breed with her. I already have a couple babies I'm gonna raise. I want to raise an army of these. And then if I'm like in a tight spot or I can't run away with her, I can just throw her on my shoulder. She has special attacks. If I swipe at a dino, they get catch on fire. I can do flame absorption, which heals her. I can jump up in the air and do a flame leap. She turns into like a ball of fire. And then she can make a trail of fire behind her when she walks. That's what that bar is on the bottom. So my ice wyvern's upstairs. This is my lightning wyvern, my strong one I talked about. 439. His stats, he's got 2500 melee damage. Max level in the game is 450 for tames. Let me put him back in the cryopod. There's some of my other tames I have. I got both the crocodiles, primitive gorilla. I got a bulb dog from another world called Aberrations. This is actually a giant fish. I got a couple giant fish. Show a couple of the cool teams I got. I got wolves. I got a dread stallion, a griffin. You can either knock out an adult and you know, raise it that way with the levels, leveling up, or what I realized, if there's anything out there with a baby, you can go up to the baby and imprint it. You just have to kill the parent, and you can literally bring the baby back and raise it. This was actually a gift from one of my tribe members. This is a basilisk. This was definitely bred because it's multicolored. But I've seen like all white, all black. These, if I'm not mistaken, are on Aberrations. Aberration is a underground world, like literally underground, no sunlight. You're like living with mole people. Basilisks can burrow underground and they can spit a toxic gas. You actually have to wear a sea burn mask. This is a giant crab called the Carcinos. This is also on Aberrations. I got this as an embryo. Bred it, put it in my incubator, little baby crab. They can jump 3 stories high. And they can snatch and hold tames in their giant claws. My recent Phoenix. I got this in a trade. They can smelt metal in their inventory. You put it in their inventory. Travel ridiculous speeds. They also have fire abilities like the Pyromane. Giant centipede I got. Very, very risky tame to get. You literally have to run up to it right here on the side where the saddle would sit. And it'll say like feed. This I got where the volcano is. Cool crimson color. Dreadmares. This is a dread stallion. They actually live wild here. You can see them at night. They can create a black hole that can suck up a tame, and you can call it out later. And their weight isn't affected by it. Also native to this map, this is a griffin. They come in different colors too. Certain tames are cool because they don't require a saddle. You usually have to craft a saddle, and that's only if you have the Ingram for it unlocked. A griffin, if you tame it, one, it's a two-seater, and it doesn't require a saddle. And last but not least, my big girl, the Carcharodonus. Second biggest carnivore next to the Gigasaurus. Has a rage buff. Their eyes glow at night. Bright red. And they actually get a speed buff when they're attacking. They have a roar that can scare actual, like, wild tames away. They got their spin attack. And then when I'm done, cryopods can be recharged. I can take them anywhere. They only weigh 0.5 pounds. Super lightweight. I can literally carry all my teams on me as needed. And then of course I got my little miscellaneous ones. I got a otter, snow owls, all my water tames. I got two of the biggest water tames in the game. I actually like went in the ocean, swam, found them, knocked them out in the water, fed them kibble, and tamed them and brought them home. I'll actually use my RG. Swim on down to the water right here. Yeah, this is actually a lot deeper than it looks. So next to it's called a lychee, a Leechidus, which is like a giant orca. Those can't be tamed. They're just like wild tanks. The biggest tame you can get in the water is the Mosasaur, seen in Jurassic Park, featuring Chris Pratt. Yeah, they have their own version of a Gigabyte, which is ridiculously strong and will kill you. Unless you got something fast, or you can actually build a trap underwater. I actually got my Pyro Man on me. He actually like goes out if he's underwater. If I'm too deep underwater and he's not on me, he can actually he'll blow up. And then of course, second to the Plesiosaur is the Tuso, the giant squid. I have a baby one that I'm going to be raising. I'll show that one later, but this is a Plesiosaur. I named it Lapras. It's a long neck. I'm actually pinched on him. These things are scary when they're chasing you. They always go in pairs. They're never by themselves. The Mosasaur and this is a Plesiosaur. These actually have a regular saddle and a platform saddle. Literally a flat platform goes on its back, and you could build a base on its back. Ragnarok is the most sought after map because it has literally a little bit of everything from all the worlds. Some worlds are strictly desert, some are, you know, more water, some have no water. So I open the map, and you actually unlock the map, like it is grayed out, but you see. So this is the volcano area, everything's burnt, there's no trees. This is all valley, a little bit of snow. Some places have bigger snow areas, like the island has a bigger snow region, like the whole left corner of the island map has snow. This one just has a little bit of snow, a little bit of desert or scorched area as we call it. This is like a canyon type valley. There's cactuses and stuff out there. This is straight sand. There's tons of like hidden caves everywhere, channels of water. You got the redwoods over here, and this area is all like giant trees and forest, small pieces of island, and then you got pockets and caves. I mean, there's islands over here I haven't even explored yet. And then there's underwater caves and trenches. There's hidden caves where the artifacts are. And then there's just plain old tunnels that are like linked to nothing that you can explore all over the map. But the fact that I have tech now, I can actually use my... Let me just kind of fly back up. I actually unlocked the teleporter. So now anyone who has a teleporter and it's on public access, I can teleport anywhere on the map that has a teleporter. So you can go small to medium, medium to large, but you can't go backwards. It's literally a giant platform. So I say I wanted to go here. All these are different people's teleporters they made public for people to access. So if I needed to get somewhere on this side of the map, I can teleport and go there. But where I catch those big water tames is right here. Someone actually made a teleporter for underwater crystal, and they labeled it for mosasaurs. I've literally become the mosa guy. I've tamed more mosas than anybody in this server so far. See, look, there's one right there. It's a wild mosasaur. So this person, you know, they kind of sacrificed the generator for this for the public, which is cool. Added a teleporter. These are called vacuum cubes. You can fully close them. You can leave them partially open like a window so you can't get out. You can leave it open like this where it's a door, or you can fully close it. You can literally fill them up. You can flood them and make a fish tank. You can connect them, disconnect them. Look, right now I'm deep under the water right here. That's a wild mosasaur. He won't get aggressive towards me until I come to him. So if I wanted to use my little spyglass, I can see his level and gender. So that is a level 25 female mosasaur. See, that's a trap structure I used. 2 doors long enough to trap it. If the person has the trap unlocked, that's great. This one is not unlocked, unfortunately, but I'm able to get in through one side, swim through the cracks, and shoot my trank arrows at it until it goes to sleep. I actually built the trap further up. You would essentially put on your scuba, throw your water tame out, and then go out there. This is all like a trench. Mosasaurs are only deep in the water. See, he's coming towards me. He can't hit me in here. And then there's an abundance of crystal on the wall. There's a tame called the Dunklosaurus that actually grinds up metal and crystal underwater for you. And then you just empty his inventory and take it home. This is a guaranteed mosa spawn. There's always a male and a female. There's always 2. So if there's one right here, there's probably one like 200 meters further up. And I'll just teleport back home. Or I can teleport to one of my tribe members' bases.